Everybody is sleeping on this. Anthony Weaver might end up being the Ravens' most important addition this offseason, and I don't think that many people realize how much change he has in this defense. We are talking about a coach who just spent 2 seasons proving that he can outrun one of the NFL's top defenses, and now he returns to Baltimore with even more talent that he had in Miami. So today we're going to talk about why Anthony Weaver could completely elevate the Baltimore Ravens defense going into 2026-2027, and why Anthony Weaver is the perfect defensive coordinator to return to Baltimore in the hopes of bringing Baltimore their third championship in the past 10 to 15 years. Now, before we get into today's video, you guys are going to want to make sure to subscribe to Ravens Digest. As we talked about last video, the Baltimore Ravens channel should not be outdone by the Cincinnati Bengals channel. They just hit their goal of 5,000 subscribers, and we must hit our goal of 500 subscribers. So make sure to drop a video and a like to Ravens Digest and a subscribe. It helps out a lot, and we're providing Ravens videos and updates every single day. You guys are not going to want to miss out on the content that we are providing at all. Now, going into 2026-2027, the newest addition for the Baltimore Ravens from the defensive level is none other than former Baltimore Raven Anthony Weaver. Now, before Anthony Weaver ever coached in Baltimore, he actually played for the Baltimore Ravens as a player. Now, Weaver was drafted in the second round, 52nd overall, and he played in 2002 coming out of Notre Dame. He started in 54 games during his 4 seasons with Baltimore before finishing the rest of his career as a Houston Texan. During his 7-year NFL career, he had over 200 sacks, 260 tackles, 15.5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, and 3 interceptions, all while being a part of a championship-level Baltimore Ravens team. At Notre Dame, he was the team captain of the team, also a MVP and an All-American, so you could definitely say that Anthony Weavership and his leadership as a player is one of his defining traits and something that he can bring as a defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, this isn't someone learning what it means to play like a Raven and the motto of playing like a Raven. Anthony Weaver has played as a Raven as a player and also is now living that perspective as a coach for the Baltimore Ravens going into this upcoming season to be able to be a beneficial piece to this defense and to coach this defense to the highest level of football. Now, Anthony Weaver as a player did not have the easiest road to becoming a defensive coordinator. Anthony Weaver was grinding. Now, he had retired and became a graduate assistant at Florida before coaching linebackers at Northern Texas. In the NFL, he climbed the coaching ladder with the Jets, Bills, Texans, Ravens, and the Dolphins before the return to Baltimore. He has coached under very smart defensive minds such as the Rex Ryans, the Bill O'Briens, the John Harbaughs, and Mike McDaniel recently, with him just finishing his tenure as a defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins. But before Miami, he spent his years coaching defensive lines and helping develop prominent stars in the NFL such as J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney, Mario Williams, and also, to more recently speak of, Matabike going into this upcoming season. This is the impact that matters, as he's seen very elite defenses throughout the years and in several different ways with several different teams. The Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins last year proved why Anthony Weaver could be a high-level defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. Anthony Weaver, during his time in Miami, was very highly talented, especially due to this being his first stint as an NFL full-time defensive coordinator. Now, in his first season with the Baltimore Ravens and going in based on the last year that he had with the Miami Dolphins, they had finished 4th in total defense and they had finished top 5 in first time in nearly 2 decades. Now, he helped players such as Calais Campbell when he had came there during his time and helped produce double-digit sack seasons with multiple teams and multiple defenders. 2025 was a year that Miami saw a lot of roster turnover and a bunch of injuries from a defensive standpoint, but Miami still finished top 15 in sacks, takeaways, and forced fumbles, showing that Miami could be one of the most promising young defenses in the NFL. Now, he has proved that he can adjust on the fly and doesn't need to just rely on the talent of superstars. But Weaver's biggest thing as a play caller is him being a teacher before this. Anthony Weaver is a player and a coach who had seen consistently responses in terms of his communication and his teaching skills. Jesse Minter, the newest coach for the Baltimore Ravens, has done nothing but praise Weaver on his football IQ, his knowledge of tactics, and the ability to elevate players, especially from him being a former player for the Baltimore Ravens. This is very important when it comes to calling defenses on Sundays. It is purely based on developing talent, and Monday through Saturday, you need to know where your defensive players are and who could be on a trajectory to have an immaculate play-by-play scenario in the NFL, and also be a beneficial piece to the Baltimore Ravens going into this upcoming season. Now, why does Anthony Weaver's skill set change so much? Now, Anthony Weaver going into this upcoming season, one of the biggest things that he likes about Baltimore's personality and roster is the versatility of it all. Kyle Hamilton can literally end up anywhere in terms of being a beneficial piece, and nothing short of the Baltimore Ravens coming from a flexible position is what he needs in the secondary as well as in the corner room. As we talked about, Chandler Rivers could be a rookie that has a very beneficial season for the Ravens, but also returning players such as Mike Green and Nate Wiggins could do nothing but build Anthony Weaver's ideology and what he wants to build defenses around when players are at the best of their ability. In terms of pressure, he is going to create high-level situations when it comes to sacks and other things of this nature. Weaver doesn't believe that you have to send 6 or 7 rushers every single snap. He uses simulated pressure, stunts, can disguise blitzes on a high level, and uses a lot of pre-snap motion to be able to understand what the offense is doing. Quarterbacks think that pressure is coming from one side, and then after the snap, it changes completely. When you mask this coverage in this defense, it allows you to speed up quarterbacks in their thought process, as well as not exposing your secondary in a position to where you could be very, very vulnerable in terms of a defensive perspective. Now, going into 2026-2027, Kyle Hamilton is a player for the Baltimore Ravens who you should be watching for. Hamilton is one of the most versatile defenders in football, and with Weaver's defense and what he values on the football field, do not be surprised if Kyle Hamilton plays deep safety one snap, nickel the next snap, and then is blitzing the quarterback on multiple different snaps. This unpredictability is what Weaver wants and what makes Weaver stand out as a defensive coach. Even though Weaver was a defensive line player himself, and on the opposite side of the ball, Anthony Weaver is a coach who has seen multiple defensive lines over his career and has helped multiple players reach Pro Bowlers and career productions. Madubuike had a 13-sack season while playing under Weaver in Baltimore in his early years, and these young pass rushers that the Baltimore Ravens have will do nothing but help oversee the defense, and with Weaver coaching behind them, they should be nothing but beneficial additions and have their skill set elevated to prepare for the upcoming season for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, Baltimore's defense going into this upcoming season should be something that is harder to prepare for on a game-to-game basis. With this, the Baltimore Ravens are a team that won't look the same every single Sunday. Weaver is a coach who adjusts his game plan based on the needs of the Baltimore Ravens defense. Now, with these blitz packages and these great coordinators turning into good coordinators, the goal isn't just to run the defense. The goal is giving Baltimore the best chance to win on a week-to-week basis. Fans naturally focus on the star players within the Baltimore Ravens, but defensive coordinators are something that can completely change a football team. Anthony Weaver does nothing but return to Baltimore with a high-level defense, has experience in coaching in the NFL, and also runs an NFL-type defense to where they can be in multiple different positions, whether it's a 4-3-4 or a 3-3-5. The Baltimore Ravens are set in a position to be able to benefit from a defensive perspective. He is also inheriting one of the best defenses in the entire NFL going into this upcoming season. And I have no doubt in my mind that if he puts everything together by January, Baltimore Ravens fans will be talking about Anthony Weaver and one of the fact that he is the biggest reason behind the Baltimore Ravens competing for a Super Bowl in this upcoming season. And not because of this signing making splashy headlines, he has already turned a talented defense to potentially one of the league's most elite defenses, especially with the pieces that he has going into 2026-27. Now, thank you guys for watching this episode of Ravens Digest. Let me know down below what you guys think about Anthony Weaver and if he will have a better defensive impact than the previous coach of the Wink Martindales and the Zach Orrs from a defensive coaching perspective, and what players you think for the Baltimore Ravens will have a breakout season due to Anthony Weaver's coaching style and the emergence of his coaching personality. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Ravens Digest. We're providing daily Ravens videos every single day. You guys are not going to want to miss out on the content that we are providing at all. And we will see you on the next episode of Ravens Digest. Until then, Ravens flock, stay up.